St Jakob-Park will be one of the 8 venues hosting games at UEFA Women's Euro 2025, operating with a listed tournament capacity of 35,689. This large enclosed stadium in the double border city of Basel is the natural home of Fußballclub Basel 1893, Swiss Super League champions in 2024-25. Its name originates from the medieval village of St Jakob an der Beerts, which originally stood on the site. The stadium sits on the eastern edge of Basel city limits, more specifically within the St. Alban district. It sits on the border of the Basel-Stadt and Basel-Landschaft cantons, the centrepiece of the St. Jakob Sports Centre, which includes numerous pitches to the south, as well as St. Jakob Hall and an indoor arena. The history of St Jakob-Park dates back to the mid-20th century. As early as 1919, there had been a demand for a major sports ground within Basel to replace the facilities lost during the First World War. By the 1930s, a site had been purchased in order to set up a new facility complex centred by a football stadium to accommodate growing crowds of the popular sport. Work on the stadium site began in 1937, but found progress eventually stopped by the outbreak of the Second World War. Foundations were in place by the early 1940s, but nothing structural had really taken shape yet. Even after the conclusion of the war, there remained an unfinished major build in Basel's east. It wasn't until 1948 that things started to move again. Switzerland had been awarded the rights to host the 1954 FIFA World Cup, marking 50 years since the formation of UEFA in 1904. Private investment was found to complete the necessary work, and with little over a year to go, construction restarted on the St Jakob football stadium, completing on the 25th of April 1954 with a game between Switzerland and Germany. The stadium was a giant for the time, able to hold up to 56,000 with more than 48,000 on terraces. St Jakob Stadium would host 6 total games of that Switzerland World Cup, including a quarter-final where Uruguay beat England 4-2 and the first semi-final where eventual winners West Germany beat Austria 6-1. The St Jakob ground had been a hit for the tournament, but was predictably less popular afterwards. Plenty of Basel football clubs preferred their own locations rather than moving to the excessively big basic standard stadium, with SC Concordia eventually moving into the site. With limited crowds though, the city had to rely on the income of other non-football events in order to cover the stadium's major maintenance costs. By the late 1960s, Basel's most successful club, FC Basel, had found their own Landhof in more central Basel was too small for increasing public interest. It became suitable for St Jakob Stadium to be used for selected Basel games, which was followed by a permanent move to the site in the autumn of 1967. Continued domestic success benefited both the club and the stadium financially, allowing a desired expansion and a renovation of the former World Cup venue. By the late 1980s, discussion had begun around a complete reconstruction of St Jakob Stadium, replacing a concrete structure with a shell design that utilised attached office buildings. The new name St Jakob-Park started to take shape from 1996, designed by the now famous architectural firm Herzog and de Meuron. St Jakob Stadium would close and be demolished in 1998, and St Jakob-Park would be completed on the 15th of March 2001, opening with a game between SC Basel and Lausanne Sport, which ended 0-0. Basel had spent the 2-year period between grounds at the simple Stadion Schützenmatte in the west of the city. St Jakob-Park opened as an enclosed stadium based right beside railway tracks. Its exterior is covered in synthetic scales which can be opened in places to aid ventilation, and the entire facade can be illuminated at night to form a mosaic pattern. A large building attached immediately south holds offices and residential apartments, with the stadium as a whole holding around 32,000 in the late 2000s. That capacity would be up later into the decade. With Switzerland set to co-host Euro 2008 alongside Austria, work on the stadium's north stand added an additional third tier, with additional seating around the ground giving it a maximum of 42,500 for the tournament. It was the largest of the 4 Swiss venues selected to Euro 2008, hosting 6 total games, including 2 quarter-finals and a semi-final where Germany beat Turkey 3-2. Peak capacity is lower nowadays than it was in 2008, but the Basel ground still remains the largest football stadium in all of Switzerland. Its interior utilises two main tiers and mostly blue seating, which ring all the way around the pitch, as well as the additional third tier of the North Stand and its adjoining corners. The main stand sits opposite to the south, dugouts down the front, with hospitality facilities up at the back, leading to less total seating in the second tier when compared to other sides. St Jakob-Park's major game experience isn't just limited to Euro 2008. Prior to its North Stand expansion, it had been used for 5 games at the 2002 European Under-21 Championship, including Czechia's penalty shootout win over France in the final. In 2016, Basel hosted the UEFA Europa League final. 34,429 people were present for Sevilla's 3-1 victory over Liverpool. The stadium has been one of the most common home venues for the Switzerland national team since first hosting a friendly against Austria in August 2002. It's also had experience as a neutral international stadium, holding Croatia's 3-2 friendly win over Argentina in March 2006 and Austria's 1-0 friendly defeat to Venezuela in September 2006. St Jakob-Park is set to hold 5 games in total at UEFA Women's Euro 2025. Switzerland v Norway in Group A on Wednesday the 2nd of July, Germany v Denmark in Group C on Tuesday the 8th of July, Netherlands v France in Group D on Sunday the 13th of July, Quarterfinal 2 between the winner of Group D and the runner-up of Group C on Saturday the 19th of July, and most importantly, the tournament final on Sunday the 27th of July. Will you be attending any of the Euro 2025 games at St Jakob-Park? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the Matchday Man for more stadium profiles like this one. I'll see you then.